Hi, welcome to this really short video. I'm going to talk to you about lifelines, and some of you I know have read my blogs and a couple of articles, and I've done a couple of talks around the lifeline, and those of you that don't know, well, just think New Year's resolution, have that in your mind, and then put that idea straight in the bin, because I want you to ditch your New Year's resolutions, because I'm here to tell you that they don't work. And I'm going to give you a replacement. So the replacement for the New Year's resolution is the lifeline. But let me tell you first why New Year's resolutions don't work, and there are 4 reasons why. And the first reason is that New Year's resolutions are pretty much always born out of or conjured up or thought about as a result of some pain that we might have suffered in the previous year. So perhaps we've lost a job, perhaps we've had a broken relationship, maybe we've got divorced or had to move house, and whatever that big change is often comes with it some pain. And often what a reaction is to change that and to set ourselves a New Year's resolution. But this pain often brings up our inner rebel, or we might actually set a New Year's resolution in spite of someone else. Does that ring a bell? Does that sound familiar? And whenever we set a New Year's resolution or a goal from this place of pain, actually, there's very little to keep us motivated or inspired. And so more often than not, we end up not achieving what we set out to want to achieve. The second reason why New Year's resolutions don't work is because there's no system to them. We often set them in a mad panic hurry on the 31st of December, and just at a time where we've overindulged, we've overspent, we've probably spent way too much time with family, and we rush these New Year's resolutions in, and there's no real kind of system to them. We don't, they can be quite chaotic, where they're not often kind of categorised or perhaps even really thought through as to what part of our lives this particular New Year's resolution is going to affect. And then the third reason why they don't work is because generally, there's no accountability. And, if you just put on Facebook on the 1st of January on your status update what your New Year's resolution is, that isn't really any accountability. And you're often, I've said to people, it's really interesting when you look at Facebook, because up until about the 5th of January, everyone's telling you about their New Year's resolution. And then pretty much by the 5th, 6th or 7th of Jan, have you noticed that the statuses go a bit quiet? Because, all we've done is we've sort of posted it on Facebook. Nobody's really holding us to account. Nobody posts back on Facebook on the 8th, 9th or 10th of January, hey, how's the diet going? Or how's the gym sessions going? Or how is that, getting organised thing going? So there's no accountability. And then the fourth reason is that they're pretty much, New Year's resolutions are pretty much what I call sort of down a one-way street. So often they're set about us and they're for us, and more often than not they only affect us. So for example, if your New Year's resolution is to lose £10 by the end of February, great. It's a good New Year's resolution to have. But what happens when you get to the end of February and you've lost your £10? Who else has it affected, really? And what we know as human beings, in order to keep motivated, in order to better ourselves or perhaps grow a business that you've started, we need to be inspired and we need to know that we're affecting others. So when our New Year's resolutions only affect us, actually the great feeling that we get when we've achieved it is pretty short-lived and sometimes not even satisfactory at all. So those are the 4 reasons why the New Year's resolution doesn't work. So what do we have in its place? Well, what I'm going to say to you is that you have the lifeline. And your lifeline is a theme, a mantra or a code that you want to live your whole year by. And this theme should be based around the lessons learned from your previous year. So it should come from a really, really positive place. It should reflect something that's currently missing in your life, perhaps a way of being that's currently missing in your life, and something that you'd like to see actually entrenched into your life throughout at least the next year. And a lifeline can be a word or a phrase, but it should really absolutely resonate with you. Now, I've got clients who have set their lifelines just as being one word, for example, action or nourish. Other clients have set themselves a phrase. So, for example, live life in abundance is one phrase. And I'll share with you my lifeline for this year, and it's all about really seeing the gratitude in everything, to move forward, but to really live in the moment. And the whole point about the lifeline is that they're completely personal to us. So it doesn't matter if nobody else understands it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't resonate with anyone else. It's about whether it really touches you and you understand that that's the code, that's the mantra, that's the lifeline that you want to lead your life. And this is will be a basis for the decisions that you make, and also the aspirations that you make. Aspirations and intentions, and I will talk to you just really quickly about those. And the lifeline is something that you can take your time to work on. It might be something that comes to you quite quickly, or you might need some help in deciding what you want that phrase, that lifeline, that code, that mantra to be for you for the rest of the year. And it's once you've set this lifeline that really makes sense to you, that is the way that you want to be in the world, that you can start to not set any goals or targets, because we don't do that. I want you to ditch those two words as well, because goals or targets have quite a negative connotation sometimes, because it means if you don't achieve them that actually that's negative. And it's not always the case, because things change and you might decide that actually you don't want that goal anymore. So instead, once you've sorted out what your lifeline is, you move on to working out what your aspirations are. And these are much broader, they're much more flexible, they're much more open to change. And your aspirations are almost kind of like your strategy for your things that you want to achieve in the next year. And it's once you've set those aspirations that you then can have almost like your to-do list, which is your intentions list. And that's a layer down again and gives a little bit more detail about what you actually want to go ahead and do. And believe you me, once you've set your lifeline, you've looked at your aspirations and you've created your list of intentions, you will be completely set up to achieving everything that you want to achieve and having a really successful 2015. So if you want to know anything else, anything at all about lifelines, aspirations, intentions, if you want a session with me to work out what those are for you and really come up with that fabulous plan for a way to move forward in 2015, then drop me a line. I'm Tiffany at Tiffany Macedo-Dine.co.uk. Do visit me on my website. Perhaps check me out on Facebook as well. I'd be really glad to hear from you. And go out there, go make your lifeline and see how that works for you in 2015. Yours fabulously, Tiffany Macedo-Dine.